Oh, I want to see the comments. Excuse me. Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what it was. I'm sorry about that. I am so sorry. Yeah, there wasn't any reason I could figure out. It just showed that it wasn't showing up, but it showed that it was working on other programs, the microphone. So I don't understand. I apologize. I really apologize for that. I was starting to think, was it Gypsy Whore? Was it her? Because my dogs started barking, their hair went up on the back of them, and like all of a sudden I went silent. Does that not sound like something? You guys know I'm joking, right? But would I put it past her? No. I don't think she'd care at all. And we're back. I want to wait for a few more of you to get here. There was more of you. If you could just shout this out. Hey, crime, gossip. Night Monkey, Stephanie McClellan, Andrea, Rachel Barron, Jeanette, how you doing? I don't know what the fuck it was. Night Monkey D, how you doing? Wyoming Win, K Sutton, Steph Girl One, Jada Lee. Okay. Let me reach out to my friend 1980. You know, she gets called by 1980. Wyoming when she does not. Mercolino, how you doing? I saw you yesterday, right? Welcome back to you, my friend, with the 3 hearts you sent me. Megan M, how are you? Hello. Thank you guys. Rachel, thank you guys. Thank you guys for spending some time with me. Let me reach out to Millennial and say hello. Say hello. Hey, I'm back on again if you want to, and I'm on StreamYard. It's the only way I got on. I don't understand. Carissa JB, how you doing? Patchouli Julie. Hello, Megan M. Hello. So again, guys, I wanted to read something to you. Hit the like button. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hello, beautiful people. Beautiful people. See, I just changed it around. Jessica, I like that. Angel Eyes, how you doing? Guys? So somebody sent this to me. I don't know how you doing, Milk Honey and Mayhem. That's me, silly putty. See how things happen? You just gotta roll with the baby. All right, so listen, D, how you doing? Thank you, Wendy Williams. How you doing? Okay, so she loved that, but there was something else that I wanted to check out. Oh, I wanted to see because I wanted to see if this person wanted me to mention them by name for sending me this thing that I want to read you. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so they just want me to say it was a subscriber that sent this to me, and that's what I'm going to go with. And I'm just going to say thank you so much again, guys. Thank you for all the time. Thank you, Wims. Thank you so much. Member for a month. Thank you so much. I want to say that I appreciate all the emails you guys send me. And I try to get back to everybody. And sometimes it's not as quickly as I'd like to, but I do try. And sometimes I guess it doesn't convey very well. When I get something that I already have and I let you guys know, like that happened to me earlier today, and I felt to say thank you. So I understood how that could have conveyed wrong. I do appreciate all the time. Time is precious. So when you take the time to send me something, it is so appreciated, whether I got it or not. You don't know if I've gotten it, right? So the only thing that I don't want is like, I don't want to hear when somebody's calling me a name or if somebody's speaking out about me, unless it's criminal. If it's criminal and I can press charges against them, yes, please send me the information, screenshots, and all. But if somebody's calling me an asshole or saying I'm trying to sabotage NPG Cornerstone, I don't care. I know that I'm not. I can prove that I'm not. And that's a perfect segue to say thank you. I have letters. I showed them in the last one, the amounts of them. And I know that a lot of you have sent them on your own too. So I have a packet today that's going to go out to Warden Kofer, and as well as a little packet that's going out to Chaplain Gerst. So that will be going out today. Actually, I take that back. It's going to go out tomorrow morning because I could send that on the way home from work tomorrow, because the little post office that used to be where I had my PO box has shut down. So if you guys want to continue on, because I got letters as late as 3:00 yesterday afternoon, which was the cutoff. So if you'd like to go ahead and do that, send them to toddy1skip@gmail.com and just write your concerns about MPG Cornerstone. Make them to Warden Heather Kofer, just Dear Warden Kofer, Cofer, or Dear Chaplain Gerst, Gerst. It's just about concerns of MPG Cornerstone and manipulation that you feel, if you feel, is going on in regards to Nick. Just concerns. That's it. Short and sweet. Just, you can sign it with your email address. You can even get a free email address for this alone, but just in a way so somebody can get in touch with you if need be. And I'm happy to print it out and mail it in the packet that I'm mailing out tomorrow as I leave work. So that's when I'm going to do that. All right, guys. So, and I've emailed everybody that has sent me, I believe. So if you've sent me a letter and you haven't gotten an email from me, send me the letter again, please, because I believe I've written to everybody letting them know I got their letter and that I printed it out for them. If you haven't received that from me and you sent me a letter, please send me the letter again. All right, guys. So I just want to say that a subscriber sent this to me, and when I asked the origin of it, now I don't believe at all that they found this in Fancy's stuff. I don't think Fancy wrote it. I'm not going to give Fancy any credit for writing it. If anything, I would give GPT. But I believe that this was from, some sort of article that I never saw. And I want to read it to you because it makes you wonder. And that's my next video, I think, about Gypsy's PPD. Or lack of, or did she ever have it? That is the question, remains to be the question. Well, it only works when it works for her, isn't it? What am I drinking, I hear you ask? San Pellegrino. San Pellegrino. I'm drinking a combination of the cherry lemon and the pomegranate orange. 1980s here. How you doing there, guys? Those that don't know her channel, shame on you. Check it out. Those that don't know Milk, Honey, and Mayhem, check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Alexandra, how are you doing? Okay, guys, so I need to look down. Again, like I said in the last video that, we kind of lost my audio from. You don't need to be looking at me seriously, because I'm not even going to be looking. I'm going to be looking down and reading. So if you guys want to do something and just listen, that's totally fine. Pretend it's a podcast. All right. How HBO bought Gypsy Rose's plea deal and ensured Nick Godejohn wouldn't get a fair trial. I don't know how many of you have seen this or read this. Hopefully not a lot of you, and this is news. The case of Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose Blanchard captivated the nation in part due to the media's role in crafting a sensational narrative that villainized Dee Dee and transformed Gypsy into a misunderstood victim. Central to this narrative is HBO's Mommy Dead and Dearest, a documentary that aired in 2017, just a year before Nick Godejohn's trial. What the public doesn't know is how this film and the narrative it perpetrated was carefully orchestrated long before Gypsy ever returned to Springfield, Missouri to face charges for her mom's murder. Though inside information, court records, and my own correspondence with authorities like DA Dan Patterson, a disturbing truth has come to light. HBO, along with Gypsy's stepmom, Christy Blanchard, and lawyer turned manager Mike Stanfield, deliberately, dun 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 dun. Wait a minute, this is a lengthy article, guys. Turned manager Mike Stanfield deliberately shaped the public narrative to secure Gypsy's plea deal and destroy any chance of Nick receiving a fair trial. Worse, in doing so, they broke Missouri state law by handing over confidential discovery files for profit, exploiting Gypsy's crime in ways they accused Dee Dee of doing during her lifetime. This blog, it's a blog. This blog dives into how this narrative was built, the legal and ethical breaches involved, and the ripple effects that continue to obscure truth about this case. So it's somebody's blog. I don't know whose blog it is. It doesn't say that it's. If it was Fancy's blog, I'd tell you it was. Anyway, HBO's involvement before Gypsy's plea deal. Long before Gypsy's plea deal was finalized, HBO filmmakers Aaron Lee Carr and Andrew Rossi were already crafting their documentary Mommy Dead and Dearest. What's particularly damning is that the filming had already wrapped before Gypsy even agreed to her plea deal. According to a letter I uncovered written by Aaron Lee Carr to Christy and Rod Blanchard, HBO had already solidified its false narrative. This letter revealed that HBO, not Gypsy's defense team, obtained her medical records and provided Mike Stanfield with a USB drive containing curated documents to use in court. Guys, have you heard about this? Do you want me to continue on? Or am I late to the game and I'm like, Toddy, where you been, man? What do you think? So, Alexandra, you never saw this? Well, too much, Mom. I don't really want to get into the thing about Nick right here. I appreciate that, but let them. He still needs to be protected. He still needs to be protected from the outside, and that is the job of the deputies and the classification officer, and that falls under the umbrella of the warden. So I would have them just deal with that because they're the ones to decide. They can't just let anybody talk to him. I mean, that's why they gatekeep him. They gatekeep all of them. They're not allowed to talk to certain people, not allowed to do certain things. And I don't think that they're really allowed to be being manipulated from the outside in because they are supposed to be protected. So to me, it doesn't matter if he trusts them. He trusts Gypsy too. That look at how that worked out for him. So he has a classification officer. Thank you so much, Carissa. Thank you so much. So you're not surprised, but have you guys want me to continue to read this? You've never heard this article. Okay, very cool. Hi, Jenny. I think we need to find someone to go more power to end this manipulation. Stanfield gives me the creep vibes. No, Fancy cannot write that nicely. I know, I agree, but it might be something she did through Chat GPT. I don't know where it comes from. I would tell you their origin of it and give credit to that origin if I knew what it was. I would. The person that sent it to me said a subscriber. Said, just refer to me as a subscriber. But, this was something I saw that went back to Fancy. Not that she wrote it, but that she found it in Fancy's records or something, Fancy's stuff. I know, one drink hot, one drink cold. Thank you for that. All right, guys, let's continue onward. All right, so let's see. This USB drive, along with false narratives spun in the media, became instrumental in securing Gypsy's plea deal by painting Gypsy as an innocent victim of her mom's abuse and medical child abuse, Munchausen syndrome by proxy. HBO and Gypsy's team ensured public sympathy and preemptively discredited any evidence that might contradict this portrayal. That might have something to do with Fancy right there. The problem, this narrative was built on lies. The discovery files shared with HBO were by Missouri state law meant to aid in Gypsy's defense, not to be sold or used for profit. Yet DA Dan Patterson, who was fully aware of this breach, did nothing to prosecute those involved. Patterson himself appeared in Mommy Dead and Dearest and other documentaries, reinforcing the narrative that Gypsy was an abuse victim manipulated by another controlling man, Nick Godejohn. The weaponization of media against Nick Godejohn. How are we here, guys? I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to continue on. All right. Just want to look at this stuff. Yeah, I didn't write it in 1980, just so you know, millennial. I'm just reading it, my friend. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. I just didn't want to get so behind in comments, guys. I don't trust these gatekeepers. I trust the people that are in the facility trying to take care of him, but they don't know what they don't know. If nobody's causing a fuss, if he's not complaining about anything, everything's fine. If he's behaving himself, everything's good. But they don't know. Those aren't the same people that know how much money is going on the outside. And the people that are making money go on the outside, like, how did they even know that there's an NPG Cornerstone? You know what I'm saying? Or that they're taking money for the commissary through that. I don't think that they know that. Guys, there's 165 of you. I would love to get 165 thumbs up. I would love people to know this because we didn't know. All right. So, okay. The weaponization of media against Nick Godejohn. Okay. By the time Nick Godejohn went to trial in 2018, the narrative was so firmly entrenched that he stood no chance of receiving a fair trial. Public opinion had already been swayed by Mommy Dead and Dearest, which portrayed him as a violent, controlling figure who preyed on a vulnerable girl. This portrayal is not only inaccurate, but also deeply unjust. Evidence from court records. Where is it? Deeply unjust. Evidence from court records show that Gypsy was the mastermind behind her mom's murder. Let me repeat that. Evidence from court records shows that Gypsy was the mastermind behind her mom's murder. Evidence from court records shows that Gypsy was the mastermind behind her mom's murder. She planned every detail, manipulated Nick into carrying out the crime, and then discarded him once her objective was achieved. Nick, a man with diminished capacity and an impaired sense of morality due to autism spectrum disorder, was left to shoulder the full weight of the crime. Nick's defense team highlighted the media's role in poisoning the jury pool during his 2022 appeal, arguing that the overwhelming publicity generated by HBO and other outlets made it impossible for him to receive a fair trial. The media frenzy wasn't accidental. It was part of a calculated strategy to protect Gypsy and ensure Nick took the fall. How we doing? Yeah, I agree. Hang on. So this is a blog, guys. That's what it is. Christy Blanchard and the financial exploitation of Gypsy's crime. Christy Blanchard has been instrumental in perpetrating the false narrative of Dee Dee's abuse. Her involvement dates back to before Gypsy's plea deal, when she partnered with Aaron Lee Carr and Mike Stanfield to shape the Munchausen syndrome by proxy narrative. Christy, who had a personal vendetta against Dee Dee dating back to high school, seized the opportunity to paint Dee Dee in the worst possible light. Partnering with the media, Christy fed the Munchausen by proxy storyline to outlets like HBO, ensuring that Gypsy was ensuring that Gypsy was framed as the innocent victim. Mike Stanfield, Gypsy's defense attorney during her plea deal, also played a significant role. Within days of Dee Dee's murder, Stanfield was already working to control the narrative. He signed deals with media outlets, including HBO, while bearing evidence of Gypsy's chromosome disorder. Why? Guys, I believe this because this is the truth. Because the narrative of a helpless daughter fighting for her life was more palatable. Sorry, it was tastes better, palatable, and more lucrative than the truth. That Gypsy was a cognitively impaired, emotionally delayed individual who manipulated those around her, including Nick Godejohn, to achieve her goals. Let's reread that. Why? Okay, let's reread that. Let's reread the whole paragraph. Mike Stanfield, Gypsy's defense attorney during her plea deal, also played a significant role. Within days of Dee Dee's murder, Stanfield was already working to control the narrative. He signed deals with media outlets, including HBO, while bearing evidence of Gypsy's chromosome disorder. Why? Because the narrative of a helpless daughter fighting for her life was more palatable and more lucrative than the truth. That Gypsy was a cognitively impaired, emotionally delayed individual who manipulated those around her, including Nick Godejohn, to achieve her goals. What do you think of that? Christie, alongside Stanfield, has actively worked to keep this narrative alive, aligning herself with high-profile media figures like Melissa Moore, daughter of the Happy Face Killer. Boy, that's somebody to ensure that Gypsy remains a sympathetic figure in the public eye. Christie has capitalized on Gypsy's crime in ways that Dee Dee never could have dreamed of, turning it into a lucrative brand that includes book deals, speaking engagements, and media partnerships. Guys, take it down a tone. She ain't no Kardashian. She ain't no Kris Jenner. Ironically, while accusing Dee Dee of exploiting Gypsy for financial gain, Christie has done exactly that on a much larger scale. The Munchausen by proxy narrative has not only shielded Gypsy from accountability, but also provided Christie with a platform to profit from a story built on lies upon lies. Sister, what are you thinking, guys? Where are we at? Taking a little bit of a break now. Oh, shit, now tell it. All right, I am. You like my accent? Well said, Toddy. One skip. I love you guys. Thank you for sharing parts of your day. There's 200 of you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I know. He did. He abandoned 2 children. One was Nicolette, and God bless her. Let her stay out of everything. I hope everything's all right. You're right, Alexandria. It basically is in the FOIAs. And there's more FOIAs coming out, I've been told. All right, guys. Gypsy's plea deal, a bought and paid for outcome. The influence of the media on Gypsy's plea deal cannot be overstated. With the Munchausen by proxy narrative saturating public discourse, prosecutors faced immense pressure to show leniency towards Gypsy. The carefully constructed image of Dee Dee as an abuser and Gypsy as her victim made it nearly impossible to present the case objectively. Gypsy ultimately received a plea deal of 10 years for second-degree murder, a remarkably lenient sentence given her central role in planning her mom's unaliving. Where'd it go? Role in her mom's unaliving. Okay, let me finish. Gypsy ultimately received a plea deal of 10 years for second-degree murder, a remarkably lenient sentence given her central role in planning her mom's unaliving. Meanwhile, Nick Godejohn, whose autism and cognitive challenges were dismissed in court, was sentenced to life without parole. The media's portrayal of him as a cold-blooded killer ensured he would never have a fair trial. What do you think of that? What do you think of them peaches, pears, bananas, and strawberries? Judicial system only cares about money, 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 money. Money. Dr. Phil is up. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Where's Nick's opportunity? Hang on. Where is Nick's opportunity to tell her side of the story? That's a question. That's why we're trying to stop the bullshit with MPG Cornerstone, because they're not doing a good job at that. The people that have mostly complained about MPG Cornerstone, a lot of them are people with autism that are there trying to explain how Nick might think and feel because he's autistic. And funny, because when I was speaking to Jessica on the phone, like, she could tell me she didn't even understand what they thought or how they felt, because she thought that people that were running NPG Cornerstone could possibly be autistic. So why wouldn't you want to understand autism? In the meantime, she said that she has an autistic child, which I believe. Why wouldn't she show more compassion? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to fight with them. I just want to do this for Nick and leave it alone after that and let them do their job until something else comes our way. All right, guys, let's continue onward. Is there anything that I'm missing here? It all feels sus. It feels sus to me too, Copper. Feels sus to me too. All right. Yeah, I don't understand that. That's why we're writing the letters. That's why we're writing the letters. So the letters are now going out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I can mail them on the way home from work, stop at the post office. It's actually more convenient for me. So please, anybody that has concerns about NPG Cornerstone, please write a letter to Warden Heather Kofer. Just Dear Warden Kofer, Cofer. Just explain, and it doesn't have to be a long letter. Just, you have concerns about this group that's asking for money in Nick's name. They're also asking for his commissary money to go through there. Nick can get his commissary for free. Why are they taking money from him? And are they really in his best interest? We question that. Is there any way that that could please be looked into out of concern for Nick? Please. That's it. Simple. There's also a chaplain you could write to. It's Chaplain Gerst, Gerst. Guys, you can mail the letters to Potosi, if you want. I have that information on my community posts, or you could send me the email. I print it out and I'll send it in the packet that's going out tomorrow, and I'm happy to print it out. I'm not reading your letters, guys, because they're not made to me. They're not made to me. So I'm just printing them out and putting them in a packet, sending them to the warden and the chaplain, 2 separate envelopes with 2 separate trackings from the post office. Guys, we'll continue on. Hey man, Noni's Craft Corner, no problemo. Anyway, guys, there's over 211 of you guys. You rock. Thank you. They are still around. They've just caused problems for us. I thought so too. They regrouped. And I feel like they took advantage of my kindness and looked at it as weakness. And that's too bad. Is that a what at my cost? Is that a picture of your cat? My deceased cat. That was Dylan. And Dylan passed away over 10 years ago. Yeah. Okay. So, you ready? All right. Guys, don't write anything about the crime, please, when you write to the warden. Just about NPG Cornerstone. Don't even mention Gypsy or the unfairness that you feel about the trial. Just about what's going on now. Otherwise, those letters will be dismissed. I know that they'll be dismissed. And they'll think that we're trying to do something to get back at Gypsy. And that's, well, I don't know how that's going to get back at Gypsy. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, but it has nothing to do with Gypsy. Please just make them short and sweet, especially because there's several of them, guys. There's like double digits. So, all right, let's continue onward. The dark side of media manipulation, HBO's Mommy Dead and Dearest, and the false narrative behind the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. The Gypsy Rose Blanchard case has captivated audiences for nearly a decade, largely due to the sensationalized narrative presented by HBO's documentary Mommy Dead and Dearest, directed by Aaron Lee Carr and produced by Andrew Rossi. Their documentary quickly gained notoriety for its gripping portrayal of Gypsy Rose as the ultimate victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, painting her mom, Dee Dee Blanchard, as a controlling, abusive villain. But what if that narrative, so carefully crafted and sold to the public, is as false as today as it was in 2015? As it turns out, Mommy Dead and Dearest wasn't an impartial investigation into the truth. It was a calculated piece of storytelling that deliberately omitted key facts to fit a narrative that HBO and its creators knew would sell. The documentary team began filming before Gypsy was even extradited back to Springfield, Missouri. And the foundation of the story, a mother abusing her daughter through Munchausen by proxy, was established before any real investigation into the facts had ever been conducted. This blog will delve into the corruption, bias, and media manipulation that fueled Gypsy's plea deal, villainized the true victim, Dee Dee Blanchard, and ensured that Nick Godejohn, Gypsy's boyfriend and accomplice, would never receive a fair trial. It's a story of profit, power, and how the media, alongside Gypsy and her family, orchestrated one of the most misleading narratives in modern true crime history. What do you guys think? So this is somebody's blog, which I didn't recognize that. It's legitimate to me. I'd love to know who her contacts were, but she said that a close friend of hers or somebody, right? Oh yeah, I heard that last night's episode exposed a lot of stuff about her. So I'm going to see that and I'll make a video on that. Okay. All right. You want me to go onward? That's not a lion. That's my cat. That's my deceased cat. He was a Bengal. His name was Dylan. Jen and I had him. I'll tell you a story about him. Jen and I were in a mall up here. This mall is basically defunct now, as most of the malls in the US, I think. And we were talking, and we happened to be talking outside of a pet store when they used to have pet stores in malls, right? And while we were talking, all of a sudden there was this meow that got louder and louder and louder. And finally, Jen and I, we looked at each other and then looked over, and there was this cat that was taken outside of the mall, outside of the store, but in the mall, lobby, where you walk through. They took the cat outside of the store and had it in a huge bird cage. But it was probably a cat cage, but it was big and it was tall. And this cat was just really friggin' loud. And Jen and I couldn't even hear each other. And this cat happened to be in the middle of us, but behind, and then when we looked, there was these cardboard signs, and they had these in Sharpies. It said 750 slash. The next sign said 500 slash. The next sign said 250. And Jen and I looked at that. We looked at each other. We looked at him and said, let's go get him. And he was the third cat that we got. He was our Bengal. His name was Dylan. He was loud, man. When he'd meow, he meow. He did not like being in a cage. Otherwise, he was a great cat. Friggin' great cat. Yeah, he didn't like being in a car either, because driving from New York to Florida and back and shit with Jen with that cat. Like we had to take turns taking the cat in the car because that cat went crazy. Hey, Lunar Wolf, how you doing? So I don't have a cat right now. The last cat I had was an Aussie cat. His name was Jake, and he passed away. He was one of my 3 losses in 2021. He died in December 29th of 2021. So it was 3 months after Jen died, which was 3 months after my dad died. So I like in 9 months, every 3 months, I lost somebody. So anyway, let's continue onward though. Hang on, because I'm sweating. All right. Oh, sweat rag. No. All right. I promise it's not that. 11 cats. So we'll continue on. Yeah, we're almost done. I think so. Let me see. Well, we have a few more pages to go, probably about 10. Should I continue onward, guys? What do you want me to do? Been on for, I'll probably finish it within this hour, within the next 30 minutes, I would think. Take a poll. Patchouli Julie, I love you. That was perfect. That made me laugh. I'm going to go get a joint. I'm back. Can you hear me? I want to brush my teeth. My paintbrushes and toothbrush. I've obviously. Ooh, that's not good. Look at this one. Look at that one. I'm here. I wish it was legal there too, Kathleen. I really do. All right. So there's 10 more pages, guys. Milo. Bubble, stop. Stop you blocking. All right. So give me a second. Have you guys watched AG Tactical lately? Every time I light up, I think of AG Tactical. He takes those big, gigantic pulls. All right. I tell you, I had a problem with DoorDash this morning getting food from my mom. I don't understand how they get DoorDash people don't know how to take directions. Funny. It's like going to work and saying, I don't know what I'm doing today. All right, guys. I don't know how many of you have hit the like button, but I'd love it if you would. I think this is a really good story. I don't know who wrote it. This is a blog, obviously, but it covers things. And I found it interesting. Somebody sent it to me. They just told me to say that they were a subscriber. Okay. The media machine in motion before the facts. In the immediate aftermath of Dee Dee's murder in June 2015, the media quickly latched on to the shocking details of the case. A daughter confined to a wheelchair by her overbearing mom, only to murder her to gain freedom. It was a story made for headlines, but HBO's Mommy Dead and Dearest went one step further. Aaron Lee Carr and Andrew Rossi didn't wait for investigators or trials to conclude. They began filming while the facts were still murky, before Gypsy had even been extradited back to Missouri. The Munchausen by proxy narrative, central to the documentary's appeal, was adopted without question, despite the lack of medical evidence to support it. Why? Because it was dramatic, it was marketable, and it guaranteed viewer engagement. What HBO and filmmakers failed to disclose was that Gypsy's medical history did not align with the diagnosis of Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Gypsy was born with a rare chromosome disorder. It was the 1q21.1 microdeletion that explained many of her health challenges. This condition caused developmental delays, cognitive impairments, and a range of physical symptoms, all of which required medical intervention. Yet this crucial piece of evidence was deliberately buried to keep the focus on Dee Dee as the villain. Now, guys, we know that this is true. We know that this is true. The players behind the narrative, well, that wasn't worth the puff, was it? Hang on. Continue. Someone says, continue on. Oh, Carissa, just listen. You don't have to watch. Seriously, you don't have to watch. And I appreciate you being here. And you can always catch on the rewind. You could put me at 1.5 speed and I'll be talking like this. Hey, the country life of the chicken lady. Some lady. I named a chicken today. Just so you guys know. Oh man, I put something up that I was here. I'm so sorry, Tricky Vicky. Like, no lie. I even ended that chat and deleted it, thinking it would just close down. And I put something up on the post, on my community post, letting you guys know I was coming back on. I'm so sorry. COFER, that's it. That's it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you got a sense of humor. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, HBO did do the same thing with the West Memphis 3. You know, I think you got a point there. Get your toothbrush out? No, but hit the like button, please. That's funny. Well, I'm glad everybody had a great discussion. That really makes me happy. Guys, we have a Facebook page for that if you wanted to as well. I haven't been so active on the Facebook page, and I apologize for that. I'm so sorry you guys were worried about me. You thought Gypsy came and got me. I made a joke about that at the beginning of this. You have another live open and full check on. I'm glad. I closed that down, man. I closed that down. I really closed that down. Can you guys run over there and tell them I'm over here, please? I thought I closed that down. Hang on, let me go over there real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Because I didn't know that. Let me go over there and see what's going on over there. Who's misbehaving over there? Okay. Hang on a second. Hang on. Get out of here and come here. Hello. Okay, somebody has just written back. Okay. So those guys are getting the message. Guys, I can't believe the patience you had for me. That's more patience than I have for me, to be honest with you. Thank you so much. I don't understand that. Wait a minute. How do I shut that down? Hang on. I don't want to shut down when you guys are talking to each other, though. That's rude. Hang on. Guys, thank you for coming over here, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming over here. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't know. Thank you for coming over here, guys. I'm so sorry. We've read so many pages so far. I apologize. I'm going to ask you when we're done with this if you'll go back and please check out what I've already read. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, right? Right? Rachel, I don't know what that's about, but okay. I'm glad we do, Kathleen. I'm glad. I do too. So, guys, I'm sorry about the ones that have just come over here. I am so sorry. I thought I did that the right way. We've been over here for about 45 minutes now. Your patience is unbelievable. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I appreciate that, Donald. And I thank you for going over there and telling everybody I saw that when I went over there myself. Thank you so much. Hey, Turtle, how you doing? Night Monkey. I'm so sorry. Misbehaving in Florida. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I really am. Margaret, I'm so sorry about that. Nikki, I'm so sorry, guys. Bouncing Tigger, I'm so sorry. You guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm glad you guys were hanging out talking again. We have a Facebook page, or if you guys, that's a community Facebook for you guys to talk and communicate and reach out if you want to each other. If you don't feel comfortable about giving each other your emails right away and such, you can send, I would think, private messages through the Insta messages there, like the IMs there. That's one of the reasons why Holly Jolly helped set that up. She actually set the whole thing up. So yeah. So I don't spend as much time on there as I should. But it really is for you guys to connect and stuff. So anyway, we're going to continue on. The players behind the narrative: Gypsy, Christy, and Mike Stanfield. Gypsy's stepmom, Christy Blanchard, and her lawyer turned manager, Mike Stanfield, were instrumental in perpetrating the false narrative. Christy, who had a personal vendetta against Dee Dee dating back to high school, seized the opportunity to paint Dee Dee in the worst possible light. Partnering with the media, Christy fed the Munchausen by proxy storyline to outlets like HBO, ensuring that Gypsy was framed as the innocent victim. Mike Stanfield, Gypsy's defense attorney during her plea deal, also played a significant role. Within days of Dee Dee's murder, Stanfield was already working to control the narrative. He signed deals with media outlets, including HBO, while bearing evidence of Gypsy's chromosome disorder. Why? Because the narrative of a helpless daughter fighting for her life was more palatable and more lucrative. Did I just read this? I thought so. Then the truth that Gypsy was a cognitively impaired, emotionally delayed individual who manipulated those around her, including Nick Godejohn, to achieve her goals. Sorry, guys, that was just me. Holly Jolly has had some personal things that she's working on. I tell her that we have asked about her and stuff, just so you know. Hello from Belgium. It's not my business to really say what happened with Holly Jolly. I mean, she's around, but she's got stuff personally, and but she always appreciates people asking about her, and I do tell her that people ask about her. Okay, so Gypsy's plea deal: a bought and paid for outcome. Thank you, Copper Crown. I appreciate that. I am the best I can be about me. That's me. I'm the only one that can be me. I don't do mods, but I thank you. I thank you so much. Yeah, I miss Holly Jolly always saying number one, that she's always the first one, or she's very talkative in the comments and such. Yep. Okay. Okay. Gypsy's plea deal, a bought and paid for outcome. The influence of the media on Gypsy's plea deal cannot be overstated. With the Munchausen by proxy narrative saturating public discourse, prosecutors faced immense pressure to show leniency towards Gypsy. The carefully constructed image of Dee Dee as an abuser and Gypsy as her victim made it nearly impossible to present the case objectively. Gypsy ultimately received a plea deal of 10 years for second-degree murder, a remarkably lenient sentence given her central role in planning her mom's unaliving. Meanwhile, Nick Godejohn, whose autism and cognitive challenges were dismissed in court, was sentenced to life without parole. The media's portrayal of him as a cold-blooded killer ensured he would never have a fair trial. I feel like I read this, but I didn't. Okay. The victimization of Dee Dee Blanchard, because we didn't read that part. I'll still not. Hey, still not. Yeah, I screwed up. Sorry. I'm sorry. It was all me, man. It's my fault. Not really. My mic wouldn't come to life over there. Neither of my microphones. I had both in. And they worked on other programs, so maybe it's a glitch over there. Maybe. I don't know. The victimization of Dee Dee Blanchard. Lost in the sensationalism is the fact that Dee Dee Blanchard was the true victim of this case. While she was far from perfect, Dee Dee was a single mom trying to provide for a child with significant medical and cognitive where is this? And cognitive challenges. I'm sorry. Lost in the sensationalism is the fact that Dee Dee Blanchard was the true victim of this case. While she was far from perfect, Dee Dee was a single mom trying to provide for a child with significant medical and cognitive challenges. Her exaggerations and grifting were born out of desperation and a desire to give Gypsy a life filled with the opportunities she otherwise couldn't afford. The media, led by HBO and other outlets, turned Dee Dee into a caricature, a monstrous victim who deserved her fate. But the evidence paints a different picture. Dee Dee's actions were not those of an abuser suffering from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, but of a mom navigating the complexities of raising a child with debilitating genetic disorder, with a debilitating genetic disorder. What's being hidden? The corruption in this case goes far deeper than the Munchausen syndrome by proxy narrative. Based on my research, I believe that Gypsy and Dee Dee's involvements in charity events and conventions like VisionCon connected them to Springfield's elite and local politicians. These connections, combined with the sensationalized narrative crafted by HBO and Christie, raise questions about what's being hidden. Was Dee Dee murdered solely because of her control over Gypsy, or were there other motivations? While we may never know the full truth, what's clear is that the narrative of medical abuse and victimhood was a deliberate distraction. Gypsy and her team have consistently used chaos and deliberate distraction. Have consistently used chaos and misinformation to obscure the facts, ensuring that the real story remains buried. You still with me, guys? How we doing? How we doing, guys? Can you hear me now? Hey, Wims. Here. Sure, what kind of... Oh, yeah, what they did was crazy illegal. Oh, yeah. Well, people are people, aren't they? Just because they wear a robe. Great. Okay, guys. Great. Thank you, guys. Okay. It's a bullseye. It's a bullseye. I don't know what that popcorn's about, Rachel. What's that popcorn about? That's probably why she is still fighting for Gypsy, because she will go down with her. I don't know. Was Fancy in their corner then to help push the narrative? I don't know. I honestly don't know if Fancy was in the corner to push the narrative. And I don't know who wrote this. As I'm reading it, I'm getting ideas in my head, but I don't know, or I don't know if it was a chat GPT. So we got about 5 more pages to go. So should we continue onward? Yeah? You want some popcorn? Okay, I get it. I have popcorn. I don't know what this popcorn thing is. So it's some sort of video. I don't know what that is. Or is it a video? I mean, I don't know what it is. So, all right, I'll continue onward. Somebody just sent me a super chat. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. That was very kind. Thank you. I don't want to give out people's names because I don't even know if they want me to give out their name. Anyway, okay, so let's get this. We're almost done. 5 more pages. The dark side of the media manipulation. HBO's Mommy Dead and Dearest, the false narrative behind the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. I thought we read this. I thought I read this at the beginning. Hang on here. Hang on. We did. We read this. Deliberate distraction. Hang on. Wait a minute. Here. Hang on. Let me just see something. I just want to see something. Where's this part? I'm pretty sure that we've read this part. I'm pretty sure that we've done this. Have we done this? Hang on. Yeah, we've read this bit. All right, so that's it. So I don't know why it came out and did this twice, because I'm reading things and I'm saying, wait a minute. What's going on? What is it that you don't understand? Because I'll try to tell you. Here we go. The legacy of here we go. I'll end it with here we go. Here it is. I'm at the end. So hang on. There's 2 more, not even 2 pages. This is it. This is the bit that I haven't read. I don't know why the printer did that. Anyway. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. That was very nice of you. Very, very nice of you. So I'm reading from a blog that has to do with the media manipulation of the case and why there is media manipulation of the case, where that came from. So like they're saying that Gypsy and Dan and Stanfield and Dan Patterson and Mike Stanfield, and they're alleging that these people were involved in what was really on the medical records versus what was put out, when it was put out. And it was more or less what they're saying to taint the jury pool, because this was conveniently rushed out before facts were even put into play. So that's what I'm reading this vlog about it, which I happen to agree with. All right. So hang on. All right. So the legacy of bias and corruption. 10 years later, the narrative of Munchausen by proxy persists despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. The media, Gypsy, Christie, and Mike Stanfield have all profited from this story, using it to secure book deals, stories, documentaries, and speaking engagements. Meanwhile, Nick Godejohn remains behind bars, his life destroyed by a case that was never properly investigated or presented. This case serves as a stark reminder of the power of media to shape public opinion and the lengths to which people will go to profit from tragedy. The Blanchard case wasn't just mishandled, it was manipulated, orchestrated, and sold to the highest bidder. Closing thoughts. The Gypsy Rose Blanchard case is not just a tragedy, it's a case study in media manipulation, legal corruption, and the power of a well crafted narrative. HBO, Christy Blanchard, Mike Stanfield, and even the legal system worked together to construct a story that villainized Dee Dee, exonerated Gypsy, and ensured Nick Godejohn would never receive a fair trial. This narrative was never about justice. It was just about profit. Let me repeat that. This narrative was never about justice. It was just about profit. Gypsy's plea deal was bought and paid for with the false narrative created by HBO and perpetrated by those closest to her. Meanwhile, Nick remains in prison, his role exaggerated, and his mental health struggles ignored. As true crime enthusiasts, we have a responsibility to question the narrative. We have a responsibility to question the narrative we are presented with. The Gypsy Rose Blanchard case is not just the story of murder. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of media bias, the influence of money, and the power and the human cost of sensationalism. HBO, Aaron Lee Carr, Andrew Rossi, Christy Blanchard, and Mike Stanfield all played a role in perpetrating a lie that has impacted not just the lives of those involved, but also our understanding of justice. It's time to revisit the case with fresh eyes, armed with the facts that were buried in favor of profit and entertainment. As we continue to uncover the truth, it's important to question the stories we're told and demand accountability from those who profit from lies. Justice for Dee Dee Blanchard and Nick Godejohn means uncovering the truth, even if it doesn't fit the story we were sold. Stay tuned for part 2 of this blog, where we'll explore how social media tragedy pimps have perpetrated this false narrative and created chaos to distract from the truth. Their tactics of bullying and misinformation mirror the very strategies used by Gypsy's team, ensuring that the real victims, Dee Dee and Nick, remain forgotten. That's it. That's it. What do you think, guys? What are you thinking? So it's not conspiracy. If you look up all the points, they cannot disprove it as it's using the real evidence. What do you mean? No, they're saying that the evidence was manipulated. This is what mainstream media needs to start putting out. I think that they're beginning to do that. I think that's going to ultimately happen, to be honest with you. I agree with what was written and said as well. I do too. Well, let's see. HBO are also biased with Adnan's. Yeah, so much. We could go through a lot of cases. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could go through a lot of cases. The micro deletion was in the paperwork the whole time. You know, so that was something that's been there the whole time. I didn't write that. Amy. I didn't write that. I read it. Somebody sent it to me. Hey, AT, take care. Have a good day yourself. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. It was good to see you. I totally agree with what was said too. And the fact that I had never read that before, and I thought, wow, you know, that hits all of the buttons, doesn't it? There's still some more buttons, but you know what I mean? So I wanted to just put that out there and share that with you guys. I do have things that I got to do today because, you know, well, I'm mailing those letters out tomorrow morning from work. So if you guys want to send them to me, continue on sending them to me. Warden Kofer, Cofer. And you could just sign it, just make it very simple. Your concerns about NPG, your concerns about Nick, and you can send them to me, or you can send them to Chaplain Gerst, Gerst, and you can send them to me, and I will go ahead and send them off. You know, I'll print them out and send them off. I've already got a bunch of letters. I'm going to take them with me, mail them out in the morning. I'll get tracking numbers. I'll have tracking numbers, you know. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, still not. You're a good person, still not. I feel like the judicial system. Oh, you're very welcome, Wims. Have a good day. Taffy pudding, thank you. Appreciate it. Broken dolls. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. But supposedly this came from something that she had. So, you know, somebody said that. So being that they said that, I gotta say it. I can't not. Yeah. Or yeah. I don't know if it's yeah or yeah. Anyway, I got a little bit of a headache and I have to go to work tonight. I got somebody coming over who might be staying for a little bit, so we'll see how that works out. Just a friend, don't get that way. They are going to stay for a little bit. And they might even be helping me with the mood, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with you and let you know what's going on. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys immensely. And I'm going to skedaddle now. All right. So I hope to have a video up for you by the morning. I think that will be, I think that's doable with all the stuff that Gypsy's been doing. Why not? I also want to get on to some other stuff too. But, yeah. All right, guys. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Take good care, guys. I'm going to drink some water. Thank you. All right, guys. Take care.